Parachilna Gorge. I could just hear the goats coming back in again this morning. They've been coming down most afternoons and mornings for a drink. There's a couple of little water holes here. We actually travelled through here a couple of years ago and didn't stay here. We just drove through the gorge. We didn't have time to stay back then, but I said to Liz, I'd love to get back here and do some camping. It's just such a special place. Free camping too, which is great. No facilities obviously, but if you're set up for that sort of thing, I'd definitely put this one on your list. You could stay here, honestly, I reckon you could stay here a week pretty comfortably. If you want to go for a walk or just chill out and relax, there's heaps of wildlife. It's just a really fascinating place to sort of sit and enjoy the scenery as well. The cooker's starting up here. So yeah, the plan this morning, I think we'll pack up and get on the move again. We're on our way to the Gammon Ranges. We won't get that far today though. We'll stop in and check out the small mining town of Blinman, and then probably on to Chambers Gorge today. This is all new territory we're moving into now for us. We've never been further north than this in the Flinders Ranges. Last trip we did, we went up to Maree and then onto the Udna down the track. So looking forward to seeing somewhere new. If you're new here, we really appreciate a like and subscribe. I know everyone says that, but it really does help us out and it costs you nothing. And just your support just shows that what we're doing is reaching people. So yeah, stick around as we head off to Chambers Gorge and beyond. Oh, look at this. Coffee on demand. So we are free camping, but we're not roughing it.
Simon likes the mouthpiece perfectly perpendicular to the handle, otherwise we're in trouble.
There's no other way. There's no other way. How else would you do it? Oh, that's a pretty good way to start the morning. Just stopped off in Blinman. Good little town, cool little place to hang out for a couple of hours. We ended up going to the pub for a counter lunch, which is a nice little pub there. General store and a cafe as well. Not much else in town though. There's a little playground there. Happened to be an art exhibition, or no, not art, photography exhibition as well while we were there, which was interesting. The girls checked that out. No water there, no Telstra phone service, only Optus. If you're Telstra like us, you won't get anything. Back on the road now, gonna head out to Chambers Gorge. We'll probably camp there for the night, I'd say.
Pulled up here at Australia's version of the Great Wall of China, so it's called Great Wall of China, and check it out.
G'day there. How you going?
I'm good.
How cool is this?
It's really cool.
The Great Wall of the Flinders Ranges, eh? This is pretty awesome.
It is cool.
Good drive so far anyway. Good scenery. I love this stuff. Feels like you're in a real outback. Well, it is a real outback. But
So this is cool. I'm standing on the Great Wall of China in South Australia in the Flinders Ranges, and there's just the most spectacular views everywhere you look, and it's just really cool. It's just this rock formation. It's a couple of 100 meters long, and you can just walk across the top of it, and you just have these stunning views all around you. It's beautiful, and there's nobody else here. Like, we haven't seen a car for an hour. Like, it's just crazy to have these sorts of places to yourself, and these beautiful flies. But I love this. I feel like this is where I'm meant to be, and this is what I'm meant to be doing. I don't know, do you ever get that feeling that you're just so happy? It feels really special. We're here with our good friends and my beautiful family. It's just, I'm really happy.
amazing little place this is. Awesome little drive in, good full drive track. Tested out the zone a little bit. That was good to get to test that out. Handled it easily though. Just had to take your time, you know, take it easy, not be silly. And we've just picked our way down the full drive track and found this campsite. We got the zone all set up. The girls are hanging out in there for a little bit because the flies are a little bit friendly tonight, but they're already disappearing as the sun's dropping down. Mel and Pete are roughing it tonight. They're just going to do a quick overnighter in there rather than setting up their big tent. Got the fire going here, the boys are there. Have a look at this mountain range out here. How good is that? It's just this iconic South Australian outback landscape that's just defined by these big open plains and deep river gorges and floodways and creeks. You can just see the whole story of how the water has defined the landscape and still continues to. It's just mind-blowing scenery. We just driving along today, I think it was only an hour's drive or something from Blinman to here, and you could just stop every 5 minutes and take photos and get footage, and you just don't know when to stop. Like, you just got to come here and see it for yourself. So we're not sure if we've got enough water to stay for 2 nights here. We had a whoopsie with our water at Parachilna where the tap in the van turned on by itself. We think what happens is on the vibrations on the corrugations and that, the tap gradually opens itself. So we've got to get in the habit of turning off the pump, which we probably should do anyway. So we've got to get in the habit of turning off the pump when we're travelling. But on the plus side, the batteries are fully charged again. We were down to 28% this morning. So, and that's 28% of the total battery of the 400 amps of lithium. And just driving today plus the solar, we've only driven, probably only driven 100, 150 k's maybe at the most. And we're back, when we pulled up, we were back at 98%. So, pretty happy with that. That's pretty easy to get the charge back in the batteries. So we're just gonna have a couple of brews, sit around the fire. The girls are inside cooking dinner in the Thermomix. I think we're having risotto tonight. Just escaping the flies until the sun goes down, and then we'll sit out around the fire and have some dinner, and yeah, probably turn in a bit early tonight. Well, I say that, it's easy to get carried away. So we'll see you tomorrow when we cook up a feast for brekkie and go for a bit of a walk, or we'll probably go for a drive and then a walk. Well, good morning. We got a bit of rain here last night. We've got ourselves a little rainbow, morning rainbow. Lizzie's out here taking pictures of the rainbow.
What are you telling them about me, darling?
How stunning you look at this time of the morning, darling.
I know. Just flies have worked out that I haven't showered for about 3.5 days.
Yeah, I was just talking about that. I think it's 5 days. But anyway.
What? When was Filipino?
Yeah, 5 days ago. Still looking young and fresh.
Still looking young and fresh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Little rainbow this morning. It's pretty cool. Hopefully you can see that in the background just there.
It's just, the colours here are crazy. The white gum trees with these dark red ranges are just awesome.
Had the place all to ourselves last night, which we love. Who doesn't really?
Maybe we're the only ones out here.
So we did pass a couple of other caravans a bit further in, but they didn't do the tougher part of the track to get in this far, so van handled it well.
It's worth it. Van handled it well.
Handles it better if you shut all the cupboard doors though.
Who was in the caravan last, darling?
We think we hang our tea towels inside the cupboard door under the sink, and I think the tea towel got caught in the latch, and so it swung open. Lucky it was that cupboard. There's not much in there to come out.
Just
only
tea towels and
cleaning stuff. So. What's up? His dad put them somewhere where they wouldn't get wet. Yeah. Look at these flies.
Yeah, look at them on your back. Look at them on my back.
Put them on your back.
I know. I just saw
You got to get dressed first.
Ew.
No, you're not. They're your pajamas. Right, I'll get these kids dressed, get some brekkie on, get some coffee on, and then we'll be able to attack the day. This has been our experiment on this trip. We've been making Billy coffee. So coffee grinds, hot water on, just let it do its thing, percolate, whatever they call it. Get better. Flavour the water. Caffeinate my body. And then we strain it off and add a bit of milk. It's actually working out pretty good. And if we had the fire going, we did it the other day on the fire, and it came out really well. You don't want the fire too hot though, is what we worked out, didn't we? You don't really want the water to boil, but just get hot. I don't know, probably get up to 70 or 80 degrees maybe, and yeah, just till it's sort of letting off steam, and then just let it sit there for a while, and came out really good. Good depth of flavour, low bitterness. Oh, I'll kick that guy out. Pete's just letting flies into the van. The rest of them are eating inside because they're worried about the flies. Bacon, egg, avocado on a fresh bun we got from Blinman yesterday. Haven't had fresh bread for a while. This one's going to be good. How's that view? Not bad, eh? So just before we set off, false start number 3. I just went for a little wander this morning and found a pretty good example of a desert pea in flower. So we're just going to go, it's only about 50 metres from camp. I'm just going to go for a wander up and I'll show you guys what we found. Looks pretty nice. I just was walking up here this morning, having a look around, looking at the view, and saw something red, which stands out pretty brightly in this landscape. And this is what I found. Yeah, look at this, boys. This is how it comes out of the ground. It's like a book. You separate the pages like in a book. Look, you ready? You ready?
Is it balls? Is it balls?
And it's nice and thin. You can put it on your roof or your floor or your house. And you might be able to get another one here. This one might break. It's pretty thin. This layer. No, it's a bit too thin. This one, there's more pages to this book. Look. What's on this page?
Nothing. There's nothing in these sort of books.
You know, Harrison, before people had paper and books.
This is how they
what they
do
used
it.
to write on.
Yeah.
Because they're like pages, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thin like paper. So we've driven as far as we can, which wasn't too far from camp as it turns out. So this whole area isn't actually a national park or anything, it's privately owned. It's all protected under the Aboriginal Heritage Act, but it's not actually a national park. So there's not too much in the way of there's no formal walks or anything like that, which I kind of like. You know, it's just sort of self-guided. You just find your way up the gorge. There are a couple of information signs about the Aboriginal heritage here, the Indigenous culture, yeah, which is great. And it sounds like the gorge that we're heading up into now is going to have Aboriginal engravings and things to look out for. I'm pretty sure that's an emu one, that one. I don't know what this other rounder one is. There's another one up here. I think that was something to do with ceremony or something like that. The ones of animal tracks are very obvious though, of emu and the way they draw emu and wallaby tracks, and then they put a lot of these pictures together to tell a story. Yeah, they have a symbol for campsite, for waterhole, for food, as in animals and stuff, for windbreaks. And they tell a story for other people that are going to be moving through the area. Yeah, which I just find fascinating that they were so willing to share information about their own lands. You think, you know, for people passing through, you think these days how society sort of we get our own plot of land and all we want to do is put a fence up and keep other people out. But yeah, I think you can learn a lot from the Indigenous culture where this is their backyard, but they put signs up basically telling people, if you're visiting my land, here's where you can find water and shelter and food. You imagine putting a sign up in your backyard or something that says, you know, if you want to come and camp, here's where you can camp, here's where the tap is, and here's my fridge. Go help yourself. Which sounds silly, but it's pretty much the same thing when you think about it. And the whole idea of sharing and community and everything, I think it's something that we've lost, that we could learn a lot from ancient civilisations like the Indigenous people of Australia. Stop being so possessive and share more of your things. Stop trying to hoard. The idea of greed, and you know, greed couldn't have survived in some of these cultures, because you'd be outs from the tribe and you'd end up dead probably. Not saying we should do that, but it's an interesting concept.
To like help with the engraving, oh well, probably not. That looks like an emu track. This one, there's a circle here with the spear like going there. It's hard to know which one it could be.
So the Indigenous story about the creation of this area in particular, very summarised. I don't want to butcher this story, but it was a purple wren threw a boomerang and it hit the mountain and caused a crack, which was the start of the canyon. And he thought, I can do better than that. So he gave it another big throw and it smashed all the way through the mountain, and as it returned it circled around the top of the mountain and cut the circular top on Mount Chambers. Is the very brief summary of the Indigenous Dreamtime story. Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed that. Perfect day for it too, with the rain that we got yesterday. It's been an overcast morning, nice and cool. Everything's a little bit damp still, so the colours are showing. It's yeah, it's really nice. We're a little bit limited with the kids, I think, of what some of the walks we can do, but from talking to other people in the area, it sounds like there's a heap of walking you can do around here, which would be pretty spectacular. I spoke to some people that were going to summit Mount Chambers today, and there's plenty of other walkers around as well, so if you've got the time, you definitely could come and camp here for a few days. Yeah, and there'd be heaps to see and do.
Life is a winding road.
We're on a bit of a lean because I forgot to Pump the bags back up. Yeah, bags back up.
And I really wanna know, really wanna know.
Join us next week as we race against the rain to get to Arkaroola and get held up doing a roadside repair. See you next Sunday.
I'm sure you have a good pun about rushing, but I can't remember it. Do you remember it?
It's just that I'm Australian, not Russian. So I'm not in a hurry.
That was not...
You asked for it. I wasn't going to bring it up. But